effort.
Yeah.
So let's reach beyond to people that we have a shot at getting, but, schedule-wise, it's weird, and some of them you'd have to fucking pull off the, get them off the fence and shit.
Alan Rickman.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. And Rickman's doable, too. Like, whenever Rickman comes to town, Rickman calls. But he's shooting Sweeney Todd, which I might go to that fucking set. I love me some, obviously, if anyone's seen Jersey Girl, I love me fucking some Sweeney Todd. I'm totally queer for Sweeney Todd. And Johnny Depp's playing Sweeney Todd, and Helena Bonham Carter's playing Mrs. Lovett, and Rickman's playing Judge Turpin.
Yeah.
So
I would put him at the top of my list.
Oh, totally. He'd be, and what a great voice he had.
Yeah.
And he's also a really,
I think I would sit there and just, I don't think I would say anything.
Totally, just listen to him. And he's a good conversationalist, too, but he's very measured in how he speaks. It would be a very, for a 50-minute podcast, you'd probably get about 4 sentences out of Alan.
Yeah.
They'd just be very long, measured sentences. But what a great voice he has. So, all right, so Rickman. I say Harvey Weinstein.
That would be a good one.
That would be a fucking coup, because Harvey doesn't really do that kind of thing. He'll do printer interviews and shit, but he's always very, guess be careful what he says, I guess, and shit like that. I think I'm writing a script right now, and before I turn it in, I'm gonna be like, I won't turn it in until Harvey does a SModcast. I think that would be fucking fun. And just do like not so much a career retrospective, but just because we all know his body work, just be like, is there pussy in being a distributor? Like that kind of shit. Who knows if
the questions people really want to ask.
Totally, that kind of thing. Our own pictures. Rickman's a fucking genius call, sir.
That to me would be.
I was proud of Harvey Weinstein.
I would
Rickman's
feel like
that's
like Rosie O'Donnell and Tom Cruise. I'd be like all fucking giggly.
And
I've met him.
I know you know that dude.
But it would be that to me would be like the coup.
What is a SModcast, Kevin? I don't know. He's a funny dude too. He's a dude. Every time I see him and stuff, I'm like grill him about Harry Potter movies and shit.
Yeah.
And he's always on the verge of quitting. He's always just like, I don't know. It's all about the children.
See, I would ask. I remember being at Morton's, of course, in Pittsburgh, and he told a story about dancing with, I thought he said Ava Gardner.
Oh, back in the day.
I thought he said that. So if he came on, I would ask if that was the story.
He was like, no. That'd be awesome if it was. If Rickman comes in a series
that's all
of
he
fucking
says.
yes and no
He's like,
answers.
No.
Yes. So you beat up a dog.
Well, I don't know if I don't think the dog would really say that.
The dog begged to differ. I kicked his ass.
Yeah, the dog sort of. Well, the from podcast SModcast 1, I had we have 2 dogs. Wolfie, the dog that might be working in a gay bar near you.
Yes.
And Buddy, who's the smaller dog, and we were walking near the house, and somebody had a pit bull that is not a friendly pit bull because our backs were turned to it, and I heard somebody go like, watch out, and I turned around, it was the owner. And this white pit was like flying towards us, and before I could do anything, it had jumped on Wolfie and bitten into his back left leg, and it had it in his mouth. And so my wife and I are like kicking it, and I'm trying to grab its collar, and then our other dog, Buddy, had sort of like gone after the pit. So the pit like went after Buddy.
So it's literally a dog fight.
It's a dog fight, and but to put it in perspective, it's just like it feels like a dog massacre. It's not like you're sitting there going like, "Oh, our dogs are fighting." You're literally like, "That dog's trying to kill our dog."
You're not like rooting for one.
Yeah, it's not like I'm like going, "Come on, Wolfie,
like,
give him
Jesus, Wolfie's dying."
Yeah, Wolfie's a southpaw. He's gonna fuck him up. There's no like.
It's more Rocky 3 than Rocky 1.
Yeah, it's more literally you're just like this dog's in kill mode, and Wolfie's like
that dog's like pain.
Yeah, and Wolfie's 12, and he like he can barely kill a fucking bowl of food, let alone like another dog. So
I've met that dog. He's kind of a pussy.
Yeah,
I could take that dog.
if a dog crossed the street,
to
confront him, he would run.
Yeah.
And so the pit turned on Buddy, and there's a thing called a gentle lead, which is like it's a type of collar that wraps around the nose and then around the back of the neck, and it kind of gathers and like with a ring, and all the collar sort of gathers under their neck. And so the pit bull went for Buddy's neck, and thankfully got a mouthful of the collar. And in the moment, I didn't know, like, it all it's like 30 seconds or whatever by the time I got to that point. And then by then the owner had come over, and he had grabbed the pit by the tail, and he was pulling it to try to get it off, and he said, hit him. And so I...
the owner told you to hit his dog.
He told me to hit. That's how I heard it. I mean, maybe he was just like, don't
Get
hit
that
him.
bitch. Yeah. Go let it face.
But I thought he said hit him, so I was behind the dog, and so I was hitting him in sort of a downward motion with my hand, and I punched him maybe 4 or 5 times.
Now, are you punching him knuckles up, or are you punching him with the flat
I'm punching
of your
him
fist?
with like the flat bottom of my hand.
Okay.
Like
so pounding on him.
I'm pounding in a downward motion because I'm
like a jerk off motion.
Yes, like if I was masturbating really violently. And I hit him like 4 or 5 times, and it didn't do anything.
He didn't react.
He didn't respond at all.
They say in a moment like that, you're supposed to stick, literally, and it sounds fucking silly, but you're supposed to stick your finger in the dog's ass.
Yes.
That's true, right?
That is like, I mean, we had, when it was all said and done, people said, it was so loud that like neighbors were coming out in the street, and people are just like, you're supposed to hose them down. And you're like, what the fuck? I'm in the middle of the street. Like, what am I going to walk with?
I don't carry a hose
garden hose? It's like, you're the one who's next to your house. You get your fucking hose.
His neighbor yelling at you holding his hose.
Yeah, he's like,
hose them down.
Yeah, get a hose. You should probably hose them down. But afterwards, people were like, you should, you stick your finger in their ass. And what they mean is that, like, if a pit they have lock jaws, so if they clamp down on something, their jaws, like, will lock in. And so the finger in the ass is supposed to make them release.
Have you ever hit a living thing before? Did you ever punch somebody?
I kicked somebody pretty hard once.
Who'd you kick? Like on purpose?
I thought his name... I think his name was Benny. Mm. And it's like I kicked Benny Hill. That would be the story. That would be an amazing story. Mm. I fucking was in London.
Yeah, I'm the guy. I'm the guy that kicked Benny Hill.
I think his name was... No, it wasn't Benny. It was I was in elementary school, and like I remember, I thought we were playing a game, and I pushed somebody over and I kicked them. Mm. But I never really got into any altercations, really.
I don't think I've ever twice.
I think I punched. This was not smart. I think I was in the 8th grade, and I was there was a guy. I think his name was Wally. He was huge. He was like that 8th grader that was like 6'3", like 300 pounds, like this massive guy. And I was at the water fountain, and I was trying to drink, and he basically came over to knock me out of the way. Mm. And I literally, and this feels really out of character, and I'm almost surprised that I did it myself. But I like fucking punched him as hard as I could in the stomach.
How old were you?
I was like 13.
Is it any more out
when
of
you were off in a robe?
Is it any more out of character than a dude that's like, let's take all our clothes off, put on robes, and hang out?
But I punched him, and
Christ, that's gay.
I punched him, and like I punched the guy who's like literally could have like wrapped me into a pretzel.
How did he react?
I think he was ready to kick the shit out of me, but like there was a bunch of people around, and I think teachers stepped in and was just like, he was being a jerk, and it just kind of got broken up. And then, thankfully he wasn't like, it's a long school year, Mosier.
Yeah, right? Like fucking all menacing like that.
Yeah, I didn't have to deal with that. So that was the one time I threw out and punched somebody.